Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee for the opportunity to lay out House Bill 4183. Bill author was Tan Parker and the House Representative Parker. If children do not have a supportive and protective family and community environment, adverse childhood experiences, or ACE, like child abuse or living with a parent with substance abuse or mental health challenges, can impact behavior and health across their lifespan. HB 4183 creates a statewide strategic plan to address causes and symptoms of adverse childhood experiences with a three-pronged approach. First, the bill facilitates a public health approach through cross systems collaborating that includes child protection, physical and mental health care, early childhood education, juvenile justice, and university research partners. Second, we instruct these partners to coordinate data, evaluate prevention needs and gaps in services to identify best practices in existing services. And third, the resulting 5-year strategic plan creates a blueprint for communities to engage in their own collaborations and resource them with the data and evidence-based strategies to prevent and mitigate the impact of childhood adversity, as well as avoid costly outcomes including chronic disease, suicide, incarceration, and loss of economic productivity. It's not a top-down approach, but rather provides communities with the tools to create their own solutions, with at least 1 out of 4 children being exposed to multiple adversities in childhood, and our knowledge of public health impacts of those adversities cost to our state is clear that the prevention is a key. Kind of goes back to the theme earlier, breakdown of our family, and the community supplied support base through United Ways and other things. We probably have a lot of solutions, we just haven't done a good job of finding a collaborative or coordinated approach to getting them done.
My name is Cindy Asmussen, and I'm the Ethics and Religious Liberty Advisor to the Southern Baptist of Texas Convention, and we oppose HB 4183. We believe that we should not be legislating subjective psychological terms that do not have consensus and meaning among professionals. Dr. Michael Sharinga is one, and I've listed it more in detail on the written testimony that I handed you. He's an expert on childhood trauma with over 23 years of clinical research work with youths with PTSD, over 50 scientific publications and books written on the topic, and he's published many of the groundbreaking research studies in this area. And he believes it's a fallacy trap to believe that trauma permanently damages the brain and thereby alters personalities, and that modern scientific data actually contradict that narrative. He believes that the extraordinary claims of toxic stress and ACE's effects are not only wrong, but an overreach of the facts and consumer misinformation. He says that there are other explanations for why ACE's events cluster together, why persons with high ACEs scores have more health problems as adults, and ACEs events can't be blamed for all or any of those problems. He said it's not a fact that stress damages the brain, and he believes experts ought to respect the limits of their knowledge. Even Dr. Mark Rains, who is a clinical psychologist with 3 decades plus experience, who has a private practice and participates in the Maine Resilience Building Network, he actually helped to write the resilience questionnaire, worries that a score alone, whether for ACEs or resilience, may mislead people as much or more than it is helpful. He questions whether knowing one's ACEs score alone is helpful for individuals because we are making it sound like it means more than it really is. We are also concerned about which assessment will be used. There's multiple assessments online. There's World Health Organization assessment. There's an ACEs assessment by multiple different groups and individuals that ask things like down to such subjectivity, such as, have you been insulted? How many times have you been insulted? Have you been bullied? Have you been spanked? We are concerned about where that could lead. We're concerned about the voluntary in-home visitations, which in Oregon, Washington, and Minnesota, they're now considering bills to make those in-home visitations mandatory. And so there are multiple issues that we have with diving into an area, especially where there are mental screenings that are known to have false positive rates. We should not be scoring children with ACEs scores and keeping that in a database. There are many concerns we have.
Thank you. Thank you for testifying. We're under a little bit of a deadline here, but we get your points. And did you hand this out as well?
I did, and the reason why I handed that to you is because that was recently distributed by the Round Rock ISD Counseling Services, and that is their seminar on community health and well-being. What they're saying is community health and well-being. And so what we are saying is that when you begin to dive into a legislation with the power of the state behind subjective terms where not even there's consensus among professionals, it's going to begin to open us up to some very maybe controversial things. And how do we fight against that when we disagree?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll keep it quick. My name is Lee Spiller. I'm with Citizens Commission on Human Rights, testifying against the bill. This is correlation research. This is not cause research. If you were to use the ACEs to improve communities, make sure that there's resources there, and do things that are general, it could actually be constructive. Once you devolve it down into people's personal lives and you say that you having a mentally ill parent is bad for you, you're into eugenics. I mean, you are literally into eugenics, because now you're picking winners and losers based on a characteristic, a label that you didn't choose, and stereotypes. And so doing this on an individual level is wrong. It is what gives us programs like eugenics, right? Using it to improve communities, knowing that poverty plays a role, figuring out, okay, great, how can we create jobs or whatever in a community? That's the right way to use this. Taking it down into somebody's home is wrong.
Thank you, Lee, for your testimony, and all of you for testifying today.